Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alan Taylor. This is the Shell Pioneering Performance Stage with John Hennessey in the house. John, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. Good to be here.
Good to see you.
SEMA, baby, 2015.
Exactly right.
Rain or shine, we're here rocking and rolling.
I was talking about your Venom GT on the morning news this morning at 6:30.
Was that you running down the strip at 270?
Yeah, I was trying.
You wish you were the guy.
World
going
record,
270.
270.4 miles per hour. And it's so funny. There's Rick Mears, Pennzoil Yellow Submarine, 223 miles an hour, 720 horsepower. I go, and that doesn't even hold a candle to that 270 miles an hour, 1,450 horsepower.
Hey, if we just had Rick driving our car, we'd probably go 290.
There you go.
I know it.
It's so funny because I said, look how much things have changed. There's a Hellcat over there with 707 horsepower, and there again is the Yellow Submarine 720, which in its day was a monster, right? I mean, fast. But your car, the Venom GT, it's like it's from another planet, man. How did you dream that up?
I'm like everybody else walking around here who's here to look at their cool car, and they've all got a dream. I'm just another car dude at the SEMA show that wanted to go fast.
Where did this start for you, brother? Because, it's something that gets in you, and it is a virus that you cannot get out.
I'm sure it started with my dad taking me for a ride in his 64.5 GTO before I could even remember. I'm sure that was programmed into my brain before I can even remember that. And then in 1990, I read about a guy named C. Van Toon, who maybe ran here somewhere, the tuner.
That's who hired me.
Yeah, there you go. Former editor at Motor Trend, and he was a freelance guy, and he bought an Eagle Talon, and he took it to Pikes Peak, and he raced it, and I read about it in Motor Trend, and I thought, well, if this guy can get a car, go to Pikes Peak and race it, maybe I can do the same thing. Right. And so I bought a Mitsubishi 3000 GT, modified it, showed up at Pikes Peak, I drove it there, because I thought that every good race car driver just packed their luggage and their helmet and their spare tire and all that crap, and drove it there and raced it, and I learned the first rule in racing, and that is, if you want to make a small fortune in racing, you start with a larger fortune. As I'm watching my bank account dwindling south, I'm thinking, man, I sure like this racing thing, but if I'm going to get to keep doing it, I got to figure out a way to monetize it.
Sounds like Ferrari, Mr.
Well,
Enzo
I don't know,
Ferrari.
And so I thought, well, maybe somebody else out there with a Mitsubishi 3000 or a Dodge Stealth want to buy some turbos from me. So I thought, well, this Shelby guy did it pretty successfully, and Callaway had been modifying
And he was
Corvettes.
a Texan.
There you go, and I know how to make chili. Anyway, so I thought, well, maybe I can do this, and 24 years later, here we are.
Unreal. Along the way, you got a flock of kids.
Oh, yeah. There's 3 of them rolling around here somewhere.
Are you afraid
They're negotiating deals with big-ass fans right now, trying to get a freebie. So, boys, get us hooked up, all right?
Are you afraid to think what the future holds look what you've done, 1,450 horsepower, street legal, world record. Your record is wild for a street car.
Well, it's wild. The only other street car out there, the Bugatti guys are running 269, and I'm sure they're already busy at work on beating our number, and that's great because we're ready to come after them as soon as they do.
It's been about a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, we set our record a year and a half ago, and I met their CEO at Pebble Beach last summer and had a nice chat, and they enjoy the rivalry and the competition, and so we'll see what the guys from Europe do, and we'll be ready for them when that time happens. So it's fun stuff. We're
talking to John Hennessey, everybody, world record holder, 270.4 miles an hour in the Venom GT. Right behind that is the VelociRaptor F-150 Ford pickup truck, 650 horsepower. Is that one of those aluminum trucks?
It is.
One of those lightweight aluminum
lighter,
trucks?
Faster, better. The Ford guys, I saw Edsel yesterday over at Beer McGuire stage, and the Ford guys keep building the best trucks, in my opinion. And so if you've got the truck, if you like the EcoBoost, that's great. They're easy to modify. I'm a V8 guy, so we take the 5-liter V8, add a supercharger, 650, soon to be 700 horsepower. Drive it every day. On the Raptor trucks, we've built, almost 1,000 VelociRaptor modified Ford Raptor trucks in the last 5-6 years. So I have one that the Pennzoil guys let me drive from time to time, and drove it to the airport the other day. Actually, was speeding past one of their brand managers on the way to the airport in Houston the other day. And they're just a lot of fun to drive. It's a great everyday driver. So, Venom GT's kind of on the crazy end of the scale, the Big Bertha of supercars. But the VelociRaptor, I kind of call it the Swiss Army knife of the automotive world because it'll take you to the top of a mountain, take the kids to school and fun to drive.
This has been driven by Jeremy Clarkson on Top Gear.
Top Gear. Jeremy, right before he left BBC.
Yeah.
It was one of the last, maybe the last vehicle that he drove. And we had a VelociRaptor that was powered by Pennzoil that went to the top of a mountain and was featured on one of their shows. And they had Richard Hammond stranded on the top of a mountain. And if anybody knows anything about the Top Gear guys, they're known to maybe potentially be a little hard on their vehicles. And so we knew that vehicle had to be built really right, and they were going to really pound on it hard, which they did. And they did their best to break it, but she survived, and they ended up rescuing him. It was a pretty cool deal.
You know what? First of all, I love watching what you're doing. You're expanding, and you have better product to be able to build on these days, right?
It's all what we do is so much dependent on what the OEMs do.
Yeah.
We can't make a purse out of a pig's ear or whatever. We have to start with a good vehicle, and there are no bad vehicles that come from the factory. And the stuff from Detroit, whether it's the GM or the Ford or the Dodge guys, is all very good stuff to start with to modify from. And that's why everybody's here at the SEMA show, to figure out what kind of modifications they want to do to their stuff.
Well, here he is, everybody. John Hennessey. He was just on the last episode of Jay Leno's Garage.
Jay Leno's Garage, yeah. Mustang broke 200 miles an hour, and we felt pretty confident about doing that. We'd gone 195 with the car a few months before Jay showed up.
I was there when you did 195.
Yeah, and so the...
you knew it was going to get 200.
But Jay shows up, and we put it on the dyno, and we'd already gone 200 on the dyno, and then it only went like 194, and Jay's kind of like, yeah, okay, well,
he doesn't talk like that.
194 might as well be 80
there he
miles
is,
an hour.
Jay. He's mimicking you, Jay Leno.
I'm in big trouble now.
Oh, he just snuck inside. Never mind.
All right. Anyway, so we nailed the number. We went 207.9 miles per hour. And what's cool is this is basically a factory bodywork Mustang GT with a track pack. We put our HP 750 Supercharged upgrade on it, and we changed the rear gear out, and everything else is pretty much factory.
What's it cost if somebody brings you a Mustang like that to do that?
Like we've got one over here. It's a convertible. It's 750 horsepower. We have a special carbon fiber body kit that goes on it, wheels and tires and brakes. If you just want the horsepower, it's Hellcat money. It's 65 grand.
For the whole thing.
It's actually slightly quicker than a Hellcat.
Yeah.
And we modify Hellcats too. So if somebody's got a Hellcat, don't want to modify Mustang, mess with them, we make those guys fast too. But this car fully loaded is around 85 grand.
Yeah.
And fun car.
A 200-mile-an-hour car. 200 Mustang, no less.
Well, we haven't done it with the top down yet, but that's something on the to-do list. So we'll see.
All right. Well, yeah, that's the guy said on Facebook. He said, "Will the convertible do 200? Will it do 200? You think?"
If Jay wants to find out, we'll
there you go on Jay Leno's
I think it probably will, but maybe not with the top down.
John Hennessey, everybody. Check out his cars right over here. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Alan.
Give it up for John Hennessey.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, brother.
All right, there's more. Stay with us.